Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Time Machine by Josh Zandman. Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here. Thank you so much for tuning into this magic product review. Now I'm going to call this a magic product review. I'm going to go ahead and leave my biases at the door on this one, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I was involved with this project, so I don't want you guys to think that I'm just endorsed by Josh or just pushing this because it's something that I had my hand in. I had zero creative control when it came to the effect itself. All I did was just help work out some of the tutorial stuff. I did the trailer for Josh and I put together the tutorial, and I'm the one that teaches the tutorial when you get the trick. So I'm not going to comment on the tutorial itself. I'll let other reviewers speak to that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to talk to you guys about the book test itself, because I feel comfortable doing that. Like I said, I didn't really have a hand in it directly, other than working out the tutorial for it. So, what is Time Machine? Time Machine is Volume 2 of the Series 2 book test series. For those of you who are not familiar with the Zandman book test series, it's a bunch of different books that Josh Zandman put out. And they're all a mentalism effect. So the idea is to have a spectator think of a word, and then you're able to instantly divine the word with as little work as possible. And every book test is very fair. They all have the same first method. So every book test has 1, 2, or 3 methods. They all have the same first method, which is called the original Zandman book test method. Essentially with that, you flip through the pages like this. You have the spectator say stop anytime you want. They peek at the first word on the page, and then you're instantly able to tell them exactly what word they're thinking of. There's no forcing, no fishing. You don't have to have anything written down. You don't have to, like, are you thinking of the letter A? None of that stuff. As soon as they see the word, you already know what word it is. And if you stop here and they're not happy and they want to keep going, you can keep going and you can stop again, and it's totally fine. The word is not duplicated on the opposite page, so the book is examinable. The spectators can flip through it, they can look, and they can see that there's nothing suspicious about it. So that's the original Zandman test method, and that's in all of Josh Zandman's books. So you have Great Gatsby, you have The Scarlet Letter, you have A Christmas Carol, you have Sherlock Holmes, you have Alice in Wonderland, you have The Time Machine, and there is a 7th book that the title is not named. It's called the exclusive title. You won't really know what book it is until you buy it. But the cool thing about the exclusive title is that the title is not published anywhere, and Josh only made 100 copies of it. So if it's still available from the time that you guys are watching this video, I suggest you go over to Josh's website and check that out. If you really like this book test and you want to combine it with your other Josh Zandman book test that you already have, because they all kind of work together. So that's a really cool thing, especially Time Machine. It works with the other books. And we're going to get into that a little bit more when we get to that section. But the original Zandman test method is my favorite because it's just so easy. You flip through, you say stop, or the spectator says stop. They look at the first word on the page, and you're instantly able to tell them the word without guessing or fishing or forcing or none of that stuff. So that's the original Zandman test method using Time Machine. The secondary method is probably the coolest method that this book test does, and that is the Pegasus page method. So for those of you who are familiar with it, essentially you flip through, the spectator says stop, you open the book, you have them look at a word on the page, they memorize that word, the book is closed, it's handed off to them, and you're not going to touch the book anymore for the rest of this trick. Now at the very beginning, you actually handed out an envelope, right, with a page inside of it. Now the spectator doesn't know that it's a page in there until you get to the really cool reveal. So let's go ahead and show you guys how that looks. I can't really perform it for you guys because this is kind of relies heavily on audience participation. But it would go something like this. You'd have the spectator say stop at any time that they want. You flip through. They look at the word on a page. They memorize that word. You hand them the book. You then remind them that they're holding an envelope and have them open that envelope. They open it up. There's a page inside, and then the word that they were thinking of is circled on the page. Not only that, but it's the same page that they were at in the Time Machine. Now, not only that, it's the exact page that they were at, because when they go to reopen the book again, they're going to go through, they're going to realize that there's actually a page missing from the book, and then the page is going to match perfectly inside of the book. And then that's the Pegasus page method. So the effect that's taught there is a time travel plot. If you guys have seen Back to the Future Part 2, it's very reminiscent of that effect where, you know, Marty McFly is approached by the postal worker and given the letter, and then it's written by the doc, but it was only written a few minutes ago, but they've had the letter of their possession for like 100 years or whatever it is. Almost 100 years, like 70 years or something. But it's the same kind of idea. So it's a time travel plot, hence Time Machine is the book. The Pegasus page method is very easy to perform, but I will say it requires audience management skills. So you can have the audience lightly examine the time machine. You can't really have them examine it in depth, especially after the Pegasus page thing has happened, because they might figure something out. They might see something suspicious in the book. So once you've shown that the page matches inside of the book, it's best to take the book away at that point so that they don't start looking through it, and then move on and perform another effect. But it's not difficult to do. The book is technically examinable, so you can have them flip through. They can look at the pages. They can see that the words don't repeat or anything weird like that. They can read the book if they want to, and the book will read just like if they're reading the Time Machine, so that's pretty cool. And all of Josh's books are this way. And it's done on purpose to make it as examinable and as innocent looking as possible. So Time Machine actually has 3 methods. We've already talked about 2 of them. We've gone over the original Zandman test method, and we've gone over the Pegasus page. The third one is the bonus method. Now this method allows you to do a tossed out book test with the other books in the Zandman book test series. So with Scarlet Letter, A Christmas Carol, Sherlock Holmes, and Great Gatsby. It does not work with Alice. That's the only thing that I was kind of bummed about, was that this doesn't work with Alice, which is weird because it's series 2 also. But Josh has told me personally that he's got big plans for Alice coming up in the next book test that he's going to be putting out. So if you guys own Alice, this doesn't work directly with it. You can use them together, of course. So you can use Alice and Time Machine together if you want to create a really cool effect. But Time Machine doesn't partner with Alice directly the way that it does with the other 4 books that I just mentioned. But the way that it works is you toss one of those other 4 books into the audience. Let's just say you have a spectator sitting here next to you. You'll say, go ahead and say stop anytime you want. Stop right there. Go ahead and read this page number out loud. So let's just say they stopped at page 70. They'll read this page number out loud. The spectator holding the other book that you tossed out will open to page 70 in their book and look at the first word on the page here. You're then instantly able to tell them which word they're thinking of without even looking at their book, without even looking at their direction. In fact, they could be on the other side of the room 50 feet away from you, and the trick will still work. So it turns Time Machine into sort of a key, I guess you could say, a peek book for the other books that are in the series 1. So it makes it a really cool utility tool and just a really cool book test in general. If you only own Time Machine by itself, the first 2 methods are killer on their own. If you own any of the other Zandman books other than Alice, like I said, you can combine this with those books and you can do some really killer material also. Now remember earlier how I talked about the exclusive title. You can actually use the exclusive title with those other books as well, because Time Machine and the exclusive title have the same bonus method. So if you like the bonus method in this, I really suggest you guys check out the exclusive title because it's got the same bonus method. And what I've done personally is I've actually gotten all of the books. I have every single book test that Josh Zandman has put out. And I do like a pick a card, any card trick, but I literally like pick a book, any book. And I'll have like 3 or 4 spectators choose a book out of the 7 titles that I have. And based on which books they choose, I'll do different performances because each book kind of has their own secondary method. So I'll do different performances based on what they chose. If they happen to choose Time Machine, that's perfect. Time Machine is what I do last. I do the Pegasus page. I use Time Machine to do the tossed out stuff with the other books that they chose and stuff like that. If they don't choose Time Machine, that's totally fine. I just use Time Machine as sort of an encore thing. So let's just say I had 3 people choose books and they didn't choose Time Machine. After I'm done performing the book test with those other books, I say, you know what? I want to try one more trick. And I take out Time Machine, and that way I can still do the Pegasus page thing, because it's a powerful ending for the book test thing. So you can have them reveal the word themselves, like they can tell you what word they're thinking of, or you can guess it, or you can have the page appear in an impossible location. It doesn't have to be in an envelope. I mean, you can make it your own, make it appear however you want. If you want to do this close up or strolling, you can have the page folded up inside your wallet or in your pocket or whatever, right? So really cool trick. I really like it a lot. It's my favorite book test of the Zandman book test series that Josh has put out so far. And again, I'm not saying that as a guy that worked with Josh on the project. I'm saying that as someone that's been performing Josh's book test for a really long time. I'm just a huge fan of his, hence why I was able to kind of form this friendship and partnership with Josh. I'm very happy and very lucky to have done that. Don't go anywhere, because I'm actually going to go ahead and show you guys a little trailer so you guys can kind of see a little bit more about what this is all about, and hopefully you guys really enjoy it. If you are looking for a really cool mentalism piece that you can make play big, or even something that you can do close up, I really hope that you decide to add this to your collection, because it's awesome. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to show you guys that trailer. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions for me about this, I know a lot about it. I did a tutorial on it. So if you guys really like it a lot and you have questions, let me know in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for watching. See you next time. If time travel has ever existed, it exists in this exact moment right now. I'm actually going to tear that page out of the time machine, the page that you were at. The most anticipated book test by Josh Zandman is finally here, featuring 3 exciting methods. I want you to look over here at this page and memorize the page that this is on as well. I circled a word on there too. You remember what word did I circle?
That one.
You are instantly able to reveal the first word on any page without asking any questions, with nothing to memorize, no words written down, and without ever actually even seeing the spectator's chosen word. After the spectator finds a page and remembers a word, they find their actual page torn out and sealed inside of an envelope with their thought of word circled. Go, make sure it matches, make sure it matches. Here, put it there. Is it the same page?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bro, that's perfect right there. Look at that.
And last but not least, reveal thought of words from your other Zandman book tests without ever having to touch the book, creating an impossible, hands-off, mind-reading miracle. This is Time Machine by Josh Zandman.